Next question here is from Ku. Thank you, Bryce, for bringing Amen up. I have a question for you. Why is Amen looked at as a prospect player that won't fit?
Yeah, I mean, Wes and I have talked about this in text messages. I have a major issue with people who said Scoot Henderson couldn't be the pick because of fit, but then want Amen Thompson. Now, to Ku's point, that wasn't me. Like, I wasn't saying that Scoot couldn't work, especially offensively. And this is what I told Wes the other day. There's an argument that Amen is a better fit than Scoot because of what he can take on defensively. So my reservations ever about not taking Amen Thompson has nothing to do with fit. I think he has an extremely high ceiling. I think he can be a really good defender. If you think Lassard barely shoots better than him, it drives me like he barely shoots better than him. And everybody's like, oh, Lassard's such a better fit. He still shot low 30% from three, and he's not as good getting to the rim and all of these other things. So we don't have to get into the Amen Lassard debate. So I don't think, I think it would be an interesting fit. I think you'd have to work some things out, but he fits the Monty Williams wants to do. And so I'm still very intrigued in Amen. I just, as you and I have talked about, Jack, he's so hard to evaluate because that basketball was just so bad. And I hate to say it so bluntly, but it just, man, it's hard to evaluate. That I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, Bryce.
The only thing. Oh, go ahead.
Because I've been very high on Amen, and Bryce, you've outlined it perfectly. So I don't think the fit. I think that's not the best argument for why you wouldn't take Amen. But the more film I've watched, I've really struggled to sort of evaluate. Like, I think the athleticism, there's so much that's going to translate for Amen. I don't think you don't take him in the top 5 or anything like that. I just think it's the defensive potential is there. But some of the stuff I watched just on Synergy and just in games, it's really hard to evaluate. I said to Bryce, how the hell are you evaluating this stuff? Like, it's tough. So that competition stuff the more I've dug into it, has concerned me a little. But if the Pistons could take Amen Thompson at 5, I think that's an excellent choice.
Yeah, the only thing I'd add fit-wise, and this is something that you've brought up a few times to me, Bryce, is like when you're comparing Scoot and Amen, offensively at least. So defensively, it's clearly the better fit with Amen Thompson than Scoot. But offensively, Scoot Henderson is the level of prospect where you'd feel comfortable taking the ball out of Caden Ivey's hands, where Amen Thompson really isn't. So offensively, you'd be asking him to majority of the time play a lot off ball, and I don't know. Do you think that could be a big issue for him, just in terms of fit in Detroit?
Yeah, I think it's more about mentality, right? I don't think it's like he doesn't have the physical tools to do it or the feel for the game to do it. It'd be more about like, can he change his mindset of, okay, when I'm on the floor with Cade and Ivey, I'm probably not going to be the one running the ball screen. Like, you could still do it. I think Amen can run a ball screen and create and do those things. But yeah, there's going to be some time off the ball. And as we know, it sounds like it's easy. We see NBA players all the time who refuse to play off the ball. Looking at you, Trae Young, refuses to do anything but just go stand in the corner off the ball. Now, completely different athletes. But I think Amen has all the things that would be necessary to do that. It's just a mentality thing. I always want to say this about these two kids. All of the intel that we get to hear is that it's really good. They're great kids. They're hard workers, all of that stuff. And so, I do always want to bring that up. And Ku brought up some of the film NBL. I'll have to look into. I guess all I've seen on Synergy is the OTE stuff. So I'll have to find that film on Synergy because I guess I haven't come across it.
All right, next question here from Erwin. We've got 3 more to go. What do you think about the length of Monty's guaranteed contract coinciding with Cade hitting his peak at 27, 28-year-old? The timing intrigues me.
Yeah, I think it just means either they're competing for championships together and going to extend, or Cade didn't hit and both of them are going to be out of Detroit. So I guess it makes sense that, this thing is going, by that time, this thing's going one way or the other.
Yeah, agreed. It is interesting that it times up so nicely with that just about to enter the prime as a player. But yeah, if at that point they're not at the level where they need to be, you're looking at bigger changes than just Monty Williams. So I think that was probably intentional.
Excellent answers. You got nothing to add. Next question here from Richard Brooks. This is a good one. If you had to pick one draft prospect to guard Jason Tatum, who would it be?
Ooh.
I'll just give a quick answer. I would just say Jarris Walker, but yeah, that's just a first
I
mind.
said, we're assuming of the 6 that we're talking about for the Pistons, right? Not like just any draft prospect.
Well, maybe if there is someone
I was
else,
gonna
Bryce, I
ask.
think, yeah, if there's someone that comes to mind outside the top 6, I'd be interested to hear that.
Well, like I said, I'm sure because I think Cason Wallace is a big time defender, but he's not going to guard Jason Tatum. Some of these other guys aren't necessarily proven either. I like Andre Jackson. Like now we're moving into like second round dudes. Max, the kid out of Marquette, who I think is a option at 31. Yeah, I think the Twins have more of an argument here than maybe what some people would think. Who's the worst? Taylor Hendricks? Twins, Black, Cam, Jared. Yeah. Taylor Hendricks
would scare me.
Just because he's how short he is.
Short, yeah. And then Tatum moves off ball a whole heck of a lot.
So that's what I was going to say is I think Cam is really good on the ball. Cam makes me nervous off the ball right now. But I don't think Taylor Hendricks could hold up at all. You've watched the Thompson twins, Jack. Like, do you think they're disciplined enough to guard some? Like, no rookie is. So this is a little unfair, but do you think they're disciplined enough to do it? The thing with Tatum is you can just say guard him and don't do anything else. Just go guard him, and maybe that's the best thing to do with those.
I'm sort of just struggling because it's like, I guess the question is if you had to pick one draft prospect, so they're going to be rookies, they're going to be the size they are now, most likely. Yeah, I don't really like the Thompson twins. I think they might be able to disrupt and steal the ball, but in terms of just sticking with Tatum for a whole game, I sort of do like Cam Whitmore on ball. But
I mean, the names are all in the second round. Andre Jackson, Max Prosper, Julian Phillips, Jordan Walsh. Like, those are the guys that you're talking about.
Jordan Walsh, yeah. That's
Bilal,
someone I've been super intrigued in.
Bilal Coulibaly, like those are guys that you're going to put on Tatum, and those aren't guys that you're taking at 5. It's a fun question though.